Hello and welcome to TelecomTV. We're here at Mobile World Congress 2015 in Barcelona in Spain. It's the last day of the show, the fourth day. It's busy, it's been very busy. They say there's been 100,000 people here this year, and I can believe it if the taxi queues are anything to go by, and trying to get into a bar. And we also got a lot of noise in the background. There's a lot of ambient noise around and people on stands. But just over here is a place called the Innovation City, and they have dancing girls and brass bands and some guy who's shouting like a fairground barker. We just have to live with him. If he came over here, we'd probably throw him off the top, but hey. Anyway, I'm very glad to say that I'm talking with Claus, who is the Global Practice Director, the Internet of Things, Enterprise Services at HP. Claus, welcome.
Thank you.
We're competing with the guy there who's selling potatoes.
We're used to that.
Oh, whatever it is. We'll live through it. Internet of Things, part of some major themes that have emerged over the past couple of years, and which are being reflected very much here at the show this year.
That's true.
A lot of emphasis on big data, mobility, network virtualization, more mobility, SDN, NFV, and of course the Internet of Things. Absolutely everywhere. Now, just last week, HP launched a new Internet of Things platform. So how does that play out from your go-to-market leadership role?
So we launched the Internet of Things platform mainly to enable service providers to capture new revenue streams on top, above and beyond what they do already on connectivity. So really about capturing new revenues from consumers, enterprises, or municipalities or government organizations.
Right, okay. There are plenty of IoT solution providers out there, and I expect there will be more joining the bandwagon as it starts to roll. What does HP bring that competitors don't? What's your USP?
Yeah. So first of all, we leverage the history we have in building carrier-grade platforms for millions of devices. We've been there, done that since many years.
Yeah.
We have the most scalable and versatile platform for IoT. We have the ability to connect millions and millions of devices. We can connect across any technology, any protocol. We have a very easy onboarding of new devices and sensors that enables you to quickly build new use cases, plug the applications on top of our framework. HP's data analytics capabilities is core of the solution as well. So once you bring in the data on the platform, you have the analytics capabilities as part of the platform. And then finally, HP was one of the founding leaders in the one M2M standardization, so we are very much aligned to that, which means the platform is modular, easy to integrate, easy to interconnect with other systems and platforms.
I don't know about you, Claus, but I've been reading around this subject. I know a fair bit about it, as indeed do you, more than me probably, but the figures that are being bandied about are remarkable. Some analysts say 20 billion, some say 30 billion, some say 50 billion interconnected Internet of Things devices by 2020. And obviously that's going to be everywhere, spreading all over the world. For example, I don't know whether that's a smartwatch you're wearing or whatever, but I'm wearing a Fitbit or
Me too.
Fitness band. You too. So there's another one. So in here there are at least 3 people out of 6 that are in the studio doing that. That is an Internet of Things application and service.
It is.
By definition.
It is. Yes.
Okay.
So
Now,
there's no doubt it will impact any industry. So
right.
You can argue if it's 20 or 50 billion devices, but it will definitely impact any industry you know today.
Okay. Now, what kind of a response, given what we've just been talking about, what kind of a response have you been seeing from your customers? As being part of the media myself and reading up about this and talking to people about it all the time, I know how much interest there is in it, and I know what an opportunity it is. And of course, you've had a lot of coverage at HP on your Internet of Things solutions. I'm particularly interested to hear from the customer side, though. Have you closed any IoT deals with customers that you can talk about?
Yes, we have. So here in Europe, for instance, we have signed up with an operator. So again, as I said, new revenue streams on top of the connectivity. And this operator is now enabled, and they are selling smart metering as a service. So on top of just selling the connectivity, they now have the ability to sell smart metering as a service. And the beauty of it is they start with gas metering. They can add electricity, water, and so on the same platform. So this ability to build new use cases, not just in silos as they classically did, but really connect the dots across different use cases.
Now, networks. Let's talk about networks. IoT devices and services and apps can run across Wi-Fi, wireless, fixed line, etc., etc. Given the amount of interest there is and what we've been talking about and the proliferation of these devices that are going to be, will networks suffer as a result? Will they become overloaded? Given the amount of data that's now, video data and other data that's already crossing them, adding another 20, 30, 50 billion devices in the next 5 years, what impact will that have?
Yeah, so the prediction says that there will be a lot of new network technologies, some that we might not even know today. And analysts are estimating approximately only 20% of the devices will be on the traditional networks. So we will see a lot of new networks like Sigfox or low throughput networks, LoRa networks that will be enabled in the country, across the countries, to support all these devices. So there will be a lot of offload scenarios related to that.
So if it's only 20% for the traditional carriers as we know them today, what are the carriers going to do about it? That is potentially a loss of business to them. How are they going to take to that? Are they going to go into partnership? We've seen a lot of partnership and collaboration recently. Is that going to give it an extra impetus?
Yeah, so one of the things the carriers are trying, and what is exactly what we are supporting, is to increase the average revenue per connection. So today they can typically do $1, $2, $3 per month per connection on a smart device. And the aim is, of course, to increase that to maybe $20, $25 by adding new services on top. So monetizing the data from the devices rather than just monetizing the connectivity.
Thank you. Final question to you. You've got your finger on the pulse of this. You're dealing with the Internet of Things on a day-to-day basis. What's hot from the customer perspective right now? Are they driving what's happening, or are they receivers of it?
So what I see in service providers, as I said, it's about increasing the average revenue per connection. So take more revenue out of the networks they have. For enterprises or governments or public institutions, there's been use cases around cost savings, so automation use cases has been kind of the first wave. But now we start to see a lot of use cases where companies are building new services on top of their core products. So new services enables new revenues for enterprises. It increases the customer loyalty, it attracts and retains the customers they have. So this is really the trend in any industry. And then in particular, and it's related to what we launch as well, I think it's well known that energy is the topic of this century. So we see a lot of use cases around energy management, and we launched a set of use cases around that as part of our launch last week.
As you've said several times, we're at Mobile World Congress 2015. Let's assume for a moment we're both back here again next year. I know with the rate of change and acceleration that's going on in the industry at the moment, you can't look particularly far ahead. There's no chance of a 25-year plan or anything like that. But what do you think the difference is going to be between Mobile World Congress this year and Mobile World Congress 2016 as far as the Internet of Things is concerned? What do you expect to happen in that 12-month period?
Yeah, so you will see this year Internet of Things is everywhere, as you said.
Yeah.
It's still a lot around technology. So it's technology use cases, it's smart metering use cases and things like that. I believe in the coming years we will see more and more use cases where it's about connecting people and generating new services that are connecting people on top of the core products you use today. So the Fitbit is a good example you gave. So new services, gamification related to this. I think that's where we will be heading.
Okay, Claus, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.